What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we actually got why the Dutch always say what they mean. So I guess the Dutch people are like straight to the point. What they say is what they mean. Let's see this video, why this is, and let's get on with it. Let's get it.
I'm afraid I can't make it because I'd be travelling there especially for you. A Dutch contributor recently responded to a meeting request. Blunt and very honest. A stark contrast to how we speak in the UK.
British people and Americans and others to some extent tend to sort of dance around the issues.
If you are vague or not direct, then people will say, well, come on, let's be honest so we can move on.
I was born in the Netherlands but grew up in the UK, so I've always noticed the two extremes. British politeness and Dutch directness. But how much truth is there to this stereotype?
Why are the Dutch
Dutch
so
are
direct?
known as being direct, which means that the style is that the messages are quite precise and clear. They say what they mean what they say. So yes is really yes, and yet no is really no. Tomorrow is really tomorrow. Whereas in most other countries, the communication style is indirect.
Okay, so if you ask a Dutch person, like, you know, let's go to the club, have one beer. If they say no, to me, it seems like it's a no, you know, no comeback from that. That's what I'm getting, like, in my thoughts right now, which is insane, guys.
Yeah, maybe always means no, possibly means probably not. The Dutch people tend to be much more, well, what they would say, recht door zee, straightforward, telling things how it really is, which can come as a bit of a surprise to outsiders.
Yeah.
Author Ben Coates grew up in the UK but has lived in the Netherlands for over a decade.
I remember just in my first couple of weeks living in the country, I went and got a haircut and then went back to work afterwards. And the first thing one of my colleagues said was, it looked better before you went for a haircut.
Dutch directness comes from a long history of
Oh
diplomacy,
my.
which benefits the Netherlands to this day.
The direct communication style is part of the consensus culture.
The Netherlands was formed based on Calvinist roots going back hundreds of years, became a great trading nation and a very successful wealthy nation during the 17th century golden age. You have a political culture which is extremely focused on consensus and compromise here.
So people learn to share ideas and come up with own opinions. And it was needed to be honest about your ideas and your thoughts and your opinions so they could find out a common solution. And that still is. It is deep-rooted and it's still a part of the communication style.
I went to meet business psychologist Atkinuta, who explains that this cultural stereotype means the Dutch sometimes come across as rude.
I think that the Dutch are perceived as
I've
more
heard that
direct
before.
because we use less often words like please, could you please, should you, and that explains why we come across as less polite. In the Netherlands, being polite is as important as in England.
It's meant to be honest and clear, but it's often perceived as being rude and even arrogant.
The reason why cultural comparisons are problematic is that it leads to stereotyping. This means that when you look at a Dutch person as very rude and direct, you are not that curious about what kind of person he or she is. And I think it's important to be curious after each other, because then you can make much better connections than when you put someone in a box instead of being really interested.
I
in the
agree.
person.
When it comes to everyday conversations, this expectation of directness can result in some unfortunate misunderstandings.
Well, the Netherlands, when they speak and learn English and when they translate the English language, they will literally translate it. If you have a business proposal and the Englishman or woman says, well, that's very interesting, I will have a look at it. We really translate that, oh, that's interesting, so they are interested.
Yeah.
Well, it could also mean, well, I'm not interested and it's a bad idea.
You can never just straight up say that someone's work is not good. That instinct is quite deeply ingrained in British society. It also extends to just trying to avoid causing offence and always saying things in the nicest possible way.
And then the challenge for Dutch people is to find out what the real meaning of the words is. And we can both speak English, but it doesn't mean that we get the real message.
For example, there's a British sort of tick of saying, oh, you must come for dinner, or we must do it again sometime soon, when obviously the last thing you mean is that that person should come for dinner next week, whereas Dutch people would naturally, inevitably.
Yeah, get to the
take
point,
those,
you know, like,
kind
no,
of
I'm not
statements more
coming.
literally, I think, and the invitation will be in your inbox the next day.
And also, of course, for the people in the UK, it's challenging to not be that shocked because of the directness.
A British person would see sort of hedging around a difficult issue or politeness and civility, whereas a Dutch person might see the same thing as being actually dishonest. It's not just undesirable, but actually an unpleasant thing to do for a Dutch person.
Okay.
You can see traces of this type of transparency all over the Netherlands. How people queue, leave curtains open for passers-by to peep inside, and even how they normalise nudity.
I think to some extent the Dutch are less prudish than the British when it comes to swimming naked or going to saunas or those kind of things. Go to a popular beach in the Netherlands on a sunny day and you sometimes feel like there's more naked people there than people with swimming costumes on.
Wow.
When you can't show
Crazy.
your body, the consequence is you associate nude bodies with sexuality. Whereas when you change clothes at the beach and you see a little bit of nakedness, then it's just ordinary. It normalizes a naked body.
Although I should say, I mean, I think it's hard to be more prude than the British when it comes to that stuff. So I'm not sure how much of it is just the Dutch being more normal and the British being excessively prude, but there probably is a big difference there.
So if you really want something, just say it how it is. Just be aware that some people may mistake your honesty for rudeness. And remember, if you say, "we must meet for dinner" to a Dutch person, they really will expect an invite.
Wow. Okay, so like you have to be careful what you say, you know? If you're from the Netherlands, guys, let me know, is this actually true? Like, are you guys straight to the point? Let me know in the comments below, guys. That was a truly interesting video right here. Really enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you've got any other video suggestions, guys, it's truly appreciated. Give me a link in the comments. I'll check it out for you guys. And yeah, if you guys feel like donating, my PayPal is in the description below. It truly helps the channel. I reinvest everything back into the channel so we guys can grow together. And yeah, guys, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.